It's a beautiful afternoon and you're right here with the one and only our MTSK CEO, Daktari Ezekiel Mutua and
Victor Kanyari.
Yes, Pastor Victor Kanyari. Tunataka tujue nini inaendelea hapa na tumefurahi sana kuwaona pamoja because a lot has been going on. So first of all, tutaanza na Daktari Ezekiel. Hi Daktari.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Good to see you.
Thank you for coming. As you are aware, we had received a lot of complaints from the content that Pastor Kanyari has created and that has been going on TikTok and circulated in different media platforms. And a lot of church leaders, government officials, parents, a lot of people were concerned, particularly because Pastor Kanyari holds a position as a religious leader. And what happened particularly, I think on last Sunday, where a lady appeared in church and gifted him some condoms and other stuff, and there's a lot that had been going on before then, and a lot of people thought yes, this was it was stage managed. A lot of them felt this is crossing the line and there was need for us to have a conversation. And if you check my Facebook, and a lot of I'm being tagged everywhere and being told stop him, why are you allowing this, and a lot of people are complaining. But as we were trying to consult with the various government agencies, including the Kenya Film Classification Board, the office, the police, and the National Cohesion and Integrity Commission and others, Pastor Kanyari reached out yesterday. And then I was like, wow, we are looking for you. Because there are people somewhere seated who are filing the charges. They are calculating the post on TikTok and how many minutes, and putting charges. I think you are all aware about the Films and Stage Plays Act. You are all aware about the Cyber Crime and Computer Misuse Act and other laws, including penal code that deals with decency. And so there are different government agencies that are looking into this, particularly because the church feels disgraced, feels defamed, and they thought this was stage managed for clout chasing. And so that's where I came in to say, yeah, we need to have a conversation, because if we've gone like this where young people can bring a gift to the pastor in terms of condom, next thing people will have sex live on the pulpit. You never know where it will stop. And therefore, for the sake of decency and public morality, because sex is not evil, but I cannot have sex here. I mean, it will be crazy. You can't do it here. You'll be in public. You'll be arrested, even if it's consensual. There may not be anything wrong in terms of the law from what Pastor Kanyari has done and all those things that happened. But there's something called public decency and morality and the culture and the bounds of freedom, even in terms of expression. Like I've said, we grew up in an age where if you see your mother naked, you turn the other way. It is a taboo to look at your mother or expose or take your photo. And so that is how societies are shaped. And so I was coming from there to say, yes, I listen to you, I hear what you're saying, and if we allow this, there's no knowing where to stop. There's also a likelihood of the church being taken as jokers. There are some things that needed to be tamed. And so when Pastor Kanyari reached out, I was very impressed. Because we cannot have a society that just condemns, that just accuses, and we don't create a conversation. And so I did an appointment. We have had a long meeting, 3 to 4 hours. We have agreed on my mentorship program. We have agreed. He actually knelt down on his own and apologized, not just to me, but to everybody who feels offended, government, church, his fellow clergy, and so on. But we have said the TikTok platform is not sinful. It is not the problem. It is how we use it. And therefore, rather than condemn and tell him to leave, the way some people were lobbying for him to be blocked, we are actually encouraging him to use it, but turn that creativity and that following into something positive, so that we identify with the challenges that are facing the youth, and we resolve those challenges. We listen to our youth, and we create a conversation rather than condemn. So I'm here to say that we are not condemning Kanyari. My brother, I'll say like Jesus, go and sin no more. Yeah. You are forgiven. But you have to adhere to what we have written down. You took a Bible and promised that you're going to lead the youth. Yeah. You're going to use your popularity and your creativity in a way that will encourage the youth. I've had some fantastic testimonies, by the way. People are only pinpointing the wrong side of what the TikTok content. But he has raised money for people who are disabled. He has raised money for people who are sick in the hospital through TikTok. Those are the things we want to pronounce. And in fact, I've offered that he becomes the president of TikTok, that I will help him, and I'm going to be the welfare chair. We know TikTok as a chair, but I'm going to be the chairman of welfare, so that anybody with a problem, someone who is sick, somebody who is depressed, somebody who needs someone to talk to, I am going to ensure that we work with Pastor Kanyari through this platform. So we are going to make it bigger and better. We are going to ensure that where there's a problem, we discuss, and I'll be able to tell him, now there you have gone out of line, or if there are members who are going out of line, we'll have a conversation so that we make this platform better. And we are going to engage with corporates and with the churches and with the government agencies to ensure that we use this platform to focus on the youth. Because a lot of leaders are ignoring this platform. They are not on TikTok. So this is what I did. I reached out to the chairman of the Jubilee Youth League, and Vice Modalo, and he invited me here because he represents the youth himself. He himself is a young man. And I told him, come because I want you to be part of this conversation. And I want political parties and the youth within those political parties, including UDA and the Kenya Kwanza government, the youths who are there, to know that we cannot afford to ignore TikTok or condemn TikTok or judge the people on TikTok. When we lost Brian Shira, I have never recovered, because we could have saved that young man. But we were all condemning, we were all saying nasty things. And we are leading this space to, we are saying the platform ya magay. Hata kuna mtu hapa ameniambia, do you know who you are talking to? These are our children. They may be gay or straight or whatever, God knows what, but they are our children, and we must address the issues that they are going through in a manner that we listen to them, but they also listen to us. So we are saying we respect each other and see how we can help. And so I invited advice here, but I would like Pastor Kanyari to also affirm to the things we have said. I'm his elder. I have said I'm going to mentor him. We have spoken to the government agencies in his presence. We have said that there is no arresting Pastor Kanyari. There is no law for now. I'm not saying he may not have breached, because if you look at the Films and Exchange Place Act, Cap 222, in terms of creation, distribution, broadcast, exhibition of content, you can always, if you want to frame charges, you can, anytime. If government wants to arrest you, they can do that. But this is not the point. Nobody is going to touch it. We have come with a lawyer. I've forced this one. This is my mentee, John Mweke. And I told him, handle this, because he's a young man also. So that we create a conversation where we befriend also the users of TikTok. Not against the law, not for them to commit crime, but to ensure that we guide them to the laws, on the laws that govern this space. And so, Pastor Kanyari, like I've said, I will emphasize the point that because of the expectations of the society, because of the church, and because you are mentioned with the name of God, so that we don't bring the church to disrepute. And matters of faith are very sensitive. The way you have committed, please change from there. Ensure that there is proper vigilance, even during churches, so that even when you are doing you are uploading your content, when you are live, so that people do not use that platform to do things that could bring us trouble. But let us go through this process together, and I want you to know that you have a friend in me, a brother in me, and we are going to help you. And we want to tell our young people who are hiding behind anonymity and only using TikTok and thinking that we have ignored them, or we condemn them, or we hate them, that we are going to engage and we are going to support them. No one should go the way Shira went. No one should feel unloved. No one should feel condemned. No one should feel like a misfit, whether you are gay, straight, or whatever. As long as you can open up and talk to us, we are going to create a platform. And we have said, using the church in Kayole, we're going to set up a center where we can be able to work together and ensure that all our artists, particularly artists, musicians, young people who are in this creative space, find a place where they can come, feel loved, talk to each other, no matter who you are. This is not a place to define our sexuality or this one against the other. This is a space for us to say we are all human beings, we are our children, and we want to have a conversation. And for Kanyari, Pastor Kanyari, because of what has happened and the apology has given, I want to say from where I sit, is forgiven. Sin no more. Then moving forward, use that energy be the president of the TikTokers in Kenya. Use your platform. Continue to help people. Continue to raise money. I'll be the first. When you have something, unaniambia, whatever little I have, I'll give it to you. And then using people like Mundalo and like him to also as well to speak after Pastor Kanyari, we find how can we make this platform more powerful, more useful, and that we don't have to wait until we are burying somebody to get the attention of our youth. One is one too many to lose. And we have said no more. Burying our young people in shame and disgrace, and then having to go there as elders to cleanse the place, when we could have spoken to them. If someone must go away or must be wayward, let them do it knowing that their people love them and they can always come back. And that just like the prodigal son, when they come, we embrace them, we celebrate them, we walk the journey with them, and no matter who you are or where you come from and the challenges you are going through, I want you to feel loved. I want you to know that you have parents, that you have a country that loves you, this government loves you, and we are not here to condemn. There are laws that must be followed, but we want to use this digital platform to promote love and tolerance. And
sasa mimi haikunisikia sana. Mimi nilichukua condom zile alinipatia, I think zilipotelea hapo kwa madhabahu. Sijui ni wapi zilipotelea. Sijui kama ziko ama I didn't sikuwa serious. It wasn't serious for me. Mpaka wakati ile explode huku nje ndio nilichukua. Kumbe hii kitu ilikuwa serious, lakini for me nilikuwa na kitu kidogo.
And I did the interview with the lady akasema yeye alikuwa genuinely content, she's ready to get married to you. So maybe I don't know what's your take.
Ni wasichana wengi wananitaka. Every girl, unajua I'm not married. Na wasichana hata kwa mitandao umeona wasichana wengi, kila msichana anasema niko na mimba ya Kanyari, niko na nini. They are all lies. Wanaongea uongo, lakini sasa unajua juu ya hii kamera mingi zimekuja, kila mtu anatafuta chakula. Sasa huyo mtu anajua akisema hivyo, na mimi ndio saa hii naongea sana kwa TikTok, niko na following kubwa. Watu watasema Kai amewekwa mimba na Kanyari, watu watakimbia huko. That's what they are doing. Sasa ndio maana siwachukulia hatua.
So right now, you've met with them since Kenya.
Yeah.
Moving forward, what should we expect from your TikTok?
Sasa nitabadilika, nitakuwa mtu mzuri zaidi. Kama hiyo ndio mbaya, I will change. I promise. I'm a good listener. I'm a good listener, na nimefurahi kwa sababu ya daktari amenisikiza. Unajua TikTok hatusikizangu. TikTok wanachukiwa, wanadharauliwa, wanaitwa mashoga, malaya, wanaitwa majina ya kila aina. Kama kuna watu wanachukiwa ni ma TikToker. Ndio maana hata baada ya brand Chida kuzikwa, wazee walienda cleansing huko wakasema nini. Sasa hatujaisikizwa, na mimi nimefurahi daktari amenisikiza for the first time, na mimi sikuwa nadhani anaweza nisikiza. Kwa hivyo ninajua ya kwamba from today TikTokers wote wataanza kusikizwa na tutaenda mbali.
So daktari, tuliona statement mahali ulikuwa umepanga hata kushika baniwe TikTok, but what nini nimefanya ukaamua kukubali kuwa abaki pale TikTok, pia umeweka kama president of TikTok official? Yes.
Nakwambia nilikuwa nimepata malalamiko na kuna mikutano nilikuwa nayo juzi na mayouth huko Buruburu, na hiyo issue ikaraisiwa na nikawaelezea kwamba ninazungumza na idara zingine za serikali tujue ni hatua gani ambazo zinaweza chukuliwa, kwa maana kwanza malalamiko especially kutoka kwa kanisa kwamba huyu anaibisha jina la Mungu na kanisa na ni aibu, huwezi ukafanya hivi, kama wewe ni Muislamu ungefanya hivi, ungechukuliwa hatua na kanisa inatakiwa regulation. Mambo mingi imesemekana, iko wazi hadharani. Mimi nikasemekana what can you do, na ukiangalia nimeandikiwa stop him, you never know how far you go. Hata wengine wakadhani labda is depressed. Wengine wakaniambia tunaweza kuwa tunacheza hapa na tupoteze Kanyari vile tulipoteza Brian Shira. So as a human being nikasema tuongee na idara ambazo zinafaa za serikali na makanisa, tuzungumze na wao na tuone ni njia gani tunaweza msaidia. Sasa mimi hata kabla nimtafute yeye mwenyewe akaniita jana, nikasema immediately I'll cancel everything else tukutane leo, because it's not just Kanyari alone. TikTok is a huge movement, na kwa hivyo tukishikana na tuanze kuzungumziana badala ya kukodem na badala ya kuwa this versus them, itakuwa kitu mzuri. Na kwa hivyo ile statement nilitoa ukiangalia inasema we are consulting with the relevant government agencies to take measures against Kanyari. I was very clear about it because there are many measures. If I was to give you the charges from the Films and Stage Plays Act that says, for example, ukitaka kuframe charge useme, for example, ukitumia hiyo sheria, no film or class of film shall be created in Kenya or distributed without the approval of the board. Sasa hata kwa hiyo peke yake unaweza mchaji na mambo mingi, na tena itakuwa imeharibia vijana wengi sana. Unajua sio na create peke yake, wale ambao wanjaonekana ni wengi sana. Kwa hivyo ni makosa inaweza kuwa na inaweza frimiwa kisheria, lakini sikuwa nataka hiyo. Kwa nataka kama kuna njia tunaweza rekebisha na tuonane na tuongee kwa uzuri. Hata sikujua yeye ni mtu mwenye nidhamu hivyo. Tulipoonana bila kumshurutisha, aliniambia nilikuwa nakuja kuomba msamaha, na tena niambie unataka tufanye nini. Unaona? So nikaongea na hizo idara zingine, wale ambao walikuwa tayari wamemukea mashtaka. Tutasikiza ni mashtaka ya aina gani, lakini nimecommit kwamba nitamsaidia. Then amekubali kwamba hii, kwa maana aliingia kimzaa kwa TikTok, ni njia gani tunaweza mfunza atumie hiyo influence kuleta watu pamoja, kusaidia wale walio na shida, na tuitumie sisi pia hata serikali kuhakikisha kwamba vijana wengi ambao wasikizwe, ambao wako katika TikTok wanasaidika. Kwa hivyo ndio maana tuko hapa, na ndio maana nimesema niliita hata marafiki ambao wamesoma, ambao wanashikilia cheo katika vyama vya kisiasa, na pia wanasheria kama John Mweke hapa, Advice Mundalo ambaye ndiye chairman wa Jubilee Youth Link, na wengine ndio watusaidie pia. Hatutaki kuseme sisi tunajua, sisi ni wazee, na watu wengi ambao wako umri wetu tumekuwa tu tuna condemn na tuna avoid. Nasema hiyo ni kitu chafu, usiingie huko, utapatana na mashoga na nini, au watu hawapendi Mungu, au watu ni watu confused. Lakini tunataka tuwe kama community na zote tujue hao ni watoto wetu. Angekuwa ni mtoto wako ungesema nini? Unaweza sema aende akakufa. Unaweza takia mtoto wako hata awe gay au hata awe lesbian, hata awe mwizi, unaweza mtakia hivyo. Kwa hivyo lazima tujenge community iko na upendo na inatolerate watu wote, muradi wanataka waonyeshwe njia. Hiyo ndio Pastor Kanyari ameniomba nimuonyeshe njia, na tumekaa hapa masaa matatu tunamuonyesha njia.
And probably to Pastor Kanyari, I'd love to know, yesterday I saw you crying on social media. Does it mean all this trolling has affected you? And number two, you have big people looking up to you, your family included. Don't you think all you're doing on social media is not affecting your family?
Yeah, yesterday nilikuwa nalia kwa sababu ya vile ambavyo hiyo mambo ili happen, kwa sababu mimi sikuwa nimeichukua serious. Niliokoa msichana wenyewe, maana sikutaka aonekane kama amekosea sana. So I was crying to the people wamsamehe tu, na hiyo kitu haitajirudia tena. That's why I was crying. About my family, hiyo kitu ya daktari alikuwa amesema ya kwamba nitashikwa, nitafanya nini, ilimsumbua mamangu sana mpaka akakuwa kama amegonjeka. So sometime this thing inapatia mtu headache kidogo.
Daktari,
amefurahi sana kwamba tumeongea. That touches my heart, and I wish we can all open our doors as leaders, as parents, open our doors to our children, all and sundry, to know that they can come home, that they can be loved, that we can be friends, and that we can listen to each other. Sasa hiyo mambo mengine yote mtakuwa mnayaona. Mimi nimeingia mtandao, hata wamenifuata sana, tumekuwa live na wakanifuata, hata wakanituma mazawadi, hata sijui za kutoa. Nimesema all those gifts I'll plow them back to support wale hawajiwezi, wale wako na shida kwa hiyo community ya TikTok. Na ndio maana tumepandana, kwa maana tumesema sio vile walikuwa wanatuchukulia. Hata tumewaimbia wimbo tukasema sisi tulikuwa wabaya kuliko wao. Watu wanatuonanga tulizaliwa tukiwa holy. Kazolo wako wapi? Kazolo. Kuja kwa maana tulikuwa tunasema watu wengi wanatuonanga. Unajua hawa watoto kwa nini ama youth wanaongopa hata government? Ni kwa maana wao wanajua vitu vingine ni makosa. Kwa maana TikTok is a stretching the boundaries, na wanaona kama hawatapendwa, kama hawatasikizwa. Lakini mimi nilikuwa hapa kuwaelezea tulikuwa wabaya kuliko wao. Sasa Kasolo akaimba wimbo unasema tulikuwa wabaya kuliko wewe.
Yesu ni Bwana.
Yesu ni Bwana. Kasolo tunaimba hiyo leo. Hawa watoto wetu wasituongope. Sisi tulikuwa manoma. Na kuambia tumefanya makosa mengi, ni neema ya Mungu. Wengine wetu we were not meant to be anything. We meant terrible mistakes. We could have been jailed when we were young. We could have even died. We in God's grace, that grace is also available for them. We cannot sit here and be holier than them and point fingers. What we can do is to tell them our story, that we too meant it. We too were forgiven. We too were shown mercy. We too were loved when we were unlovable. We too, mtu alishika mikono yetu, na ndio maana mimi niko sio. wengi ninaelezeanga story yangu mahali nilitoka na shida tulikuwa. So hao watu wanajiona kama wamepotea ama hawapendi. I want them to know that they will have a friend in me. I'm going to mobilize all the government agencies and all our friends, including TikTok itself and all these platforms, to say Kenya has the greatest infrastructure on ICT in this continent. How can we use this to make a community where we help our youth, not condemn them, but show them the way and support them in the things that they need. Kwa hivyo Choku, anaitwa? Choku rafiki yangu sana. Choku, tumeongea amekuja live. Nikampenda sana. Na yeye mwenyewe unajua ameniambia anaishi Ujerumani, akudhania siku moja tutaongea. Sasa tumezungumza, tumesema tutakuwa na muda wetu. Kuna mambo mengine tutaleta kwa public, nzini marafiki, tumeonana, tumependana. And I think Choku serves as an example that we all can be good to each other, we can be humane, we can love each other, and we can open our doors to listen to each other. And rather than condemn and promote the elements of the things that make us different, we can promote the things that bring us together, which is love, kindness, and humanity.
Have you enjoyed the different properties? Are you planning on going on more lives on TikTok?
Kabisa, sirudi nyuma. Sasa nitakuwa kama Pastor Kanyari. Only that I am going to use it responsibly. Even Pastor Kanyari, now he's our president. Check and I'll be on his neck. Yeah. Kitu ikitokea mbaya hapo itaripotiwa kwangu kwanza. Na ata apologize because you know we are not perfect. Nobody is 100%. I am not hoping that you will repeat the mistakes. But if anything goes wrong, we don't condemn, we'll talk and we'll set the record straight. In other words, this is our platform, all of us. I'm going live, I'll be doing live in sessions on TikTok, and I'll be advising my youth and helping. In fact, mimi nimesema kwa maana mimi ndio chairman wa welfare. Yangu itakuwa kuja tu wakati tunatoa. Ninaanza, I'll be leading by example. So wale watu wote wako wanadhania walikuwa wameachwa or they're in that world on their own. No, they are friends and we're going to work with the journey with them. I wanted to advise, yes.
Daktari, I have a question.
Yeah.
This is away from the matter.
Yeah, KFCB.
Yes, so right now I have a letter. I was just saying before. Please we talk about
Yes.
because we're doing very well on YouTube.
Yes.
Show yake live. But what about now? I'm a post on Instagram and it's more letter which requires him to have a license to show the family. So amesema hapa chini sasa hizi vijana let me hala at friend Dr. Ezekiel Mutua. Maybe what's your take on this? Do you think the letter ndio inaweza kuonesha hapa is it normal for KFCB that a YouTuber anafanya content anafaa kuwa na license before posting YouTube?
Yes, that's the law. Unfortunately, the law is on us, as they say. The Films and Stage Plays Act, Cap 222 of the laws of Kenya, says no film or class of film shall be done without the approval of the board. But you see, this is a 1963 act. It has gone through amendments, but some of those stipulations are long before these digital platforms came. If you are to flood KFCB with all the content that you want to upload, and there are millions who are going live, they cannot manage the job. What we need to do is create the guidelines and help people. So I don't think it will go anywhere in terms of punitive measures. And like I've said, I've been there for 6 years. I created most of those regulations, and I do know when a mistake has been committed. Ogaupina is creating also a platform for the youth to be able to talk and for people to have a conversation. I know the government is looking for money through platforms like this, but we are going to ensure that it's done in a way that we don't kill creativity. So Ogaupina is my mentee. He's a friend of mine, and just like Pastor Victor Kanyari, I'm going to stand for this youth. Not from a point of defending them, by ensuring that if it's a mistake, somebody can apologize, somebody can, if it's retribution like we did with Mbarambamba, and there's a fine to pay, we are going to raise money and pay if we must do it. But even in court, you are given a chance to mitigate and to say sorry. So I don't think it is cast in stone. Nobody should discourage about it. I saw the kind of interviews he's doing, even with the people like Mike Songo, and I think we should not, we should just guide them to ensure that they play within the law rather than just sending general condemnation. I think it's a matter that has just been brought to my attention, and I'll deal with it.
So my question, my name is Ezekiel. My question goes to Ezekiel Mutua. one of the key things people are doing is more of content creation, and TikTok is another platform that people use it to generate income as much as people are there to be gifted. We as also seen exactly other countries, they are having the monetary value in it, whereby the content creators are being paid. You as Ezekiel, are you also coming up with an idea on how, as creators from Africa, not only Africa but in Kenya, we are going to gain a revenue as we create content on TikTok? Because other countries like Germany, they are being monetized.
Remember, I've been at the forefront of this conversation. I'm the first one who raised the discussion about regulation of TikTok, and with Bob Ndolo filed a petition to Parliament. We appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on public petitions, and we were listened, and we were very clear that we don't want TikTok to be banned, we want it to be regulated, and want to have regulation and a stipulation that are going to help this platform to monetize. And when we raised this conversation, the president, our own president, Dr. William Ruto, called the CEO of TikTok, and we had a conversation. The TikTok leadership and the office from South Africa has been here. I've met them countless times. They've been to Kenya Film Classification Board. So these are conversations that are ongoing, so that even where we need to improve the law, we do it quickly. That's why I went through Parliament. Where we need to have just informal mediation processes, we do that. But the whole idea is to ensure that we enhance the element of job creation and wealth through the creativity of our youth, not to stifle that creativity, but to enhance it. That's why I met Pastor Kanyari, because I saw that as a platform, and I saw the following and the kind of excitement he's creating as something. Even if you told him to leave or you blocked him, someone else will come up. Yeah. There is no stopping these technologies. We can only engage. We cannot ban it or jail people. We have to be reasonable and say, let's have a discussion.
His Excellency promised us that next week, that is May, but not June, we are going to have our Facebook pages are going to be monitored.
Yes.
Do you think this is there still, or there is some of the plans?
No, it's ongoing. It's ongoing. Right now, as we speak, you have seen the president this week has been at Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta, Georgia. Yesterday in Washington, D.C. All the deals that are being cut. I think Kenya has never been at the level where it has been taken through this presidency in terms of international networking and getting the attention of the world. Never before have we seen the kind of respect Kenyan president has been given in the visit that is ongoing currently, meeting President Joe Biden, meeting former President Obama, and striking real deals that are going to help the youth. And let me tell you, the money is in digital platforms. So what we are going to do, because it is an ecosystem, you got to understand, my brother, that the government alone will not give you money. Even you guys, you can create all manner of things, but it may not give you money if we don't create the ecosystem so that we monetize the content, we create the rates, we enhance accessibility of these platforms, we enhance the accessibility of the gadgets, so that from the hardware manufacturers to the software developers to the ease of doing business, all these things are done together in an ecosystem, so that all of us must have a conversation. So I'm part and parcel of that. And I think the best way is to go through Parliament like we are doing. But the president is leading. He's the highest followed, I think, on X and most of these media platforms. It is a blessing. It is such an amazing, incredible blessing that our president is one of the most followed on this social media platform. So we are not talking to an old man who cannot understand. I am one of the most followed CEOs also on X and in some of these platforms. And now I've gone live on TikTok. There's no turning back. So in other words, rather than shy away from these conversations, we are going to have them. And the conversations right now will be, it doesn't help our young people to post obscenity and vulgarities and disgraceful things if they are not making money. What is the use of doing that when you are going into depression? What is the use of doing that and showing yourself having sex or taking drugs, when we can address those issues so that you don't do it for clout? We find a solution. What is the point of doing that when you commit suicide? I mean, these are hard conversations that we must have so that government puts money here. Because some of it, these challenges are real. We have young people who are hooked into drugs. We have young people in homosexuality. We have young people who feel lonely and forsaken and nobody's listening. Some have been even chased away by their parents. They have been condemned and hated by society. We have to reverse this. One, by ensuring that our people are empowered. One of the greatest ways of empowering our young people is by having a conversation and allowing this platform to be a platform that is accepted by society. But number two is putting money in the pockets of young people. The moment you have money, you not seek validation in the wrong ways. Some of these people are being misused by bad people because they are broke, because they are lonely, because they lack mentors. And this is why I called my young people. I wish you can listen to my friend. And I would like at this point, the advice.
Yes, sir.
I would like you to bring the element of political leadership and the youth and how you are going to help these young people. Because why I brought him, he's the one who talks to Kinadeni Zetumbe, he's the one who is talking to Malala. You got to bring this into the agenda, the better agenda of the government, and ensure that we do not condemn TikTok,
Sure.
but rather, what can we do from where you sit?
Sure. Thank you, Daktari. My name is Mundalo Advice. I serve as the National Youth Chair for the Jubilee Party, the immediate former ruling party, and we now work in tandem and we support the government. First, I want to appreciate Daktari for inviting me here and for us to be able to have this conversation. And as I said before, it is very good that we are having this conversation at this time. Because we must wipe out the narrative that young people are lazy, they are doing nothing, they are immoral, and all those kind of things. Daktari, as you can see, today we are not doing mainstream media houses, but these are over 20 young people who have been able to come here from wherever they have come from. So young people of this country are hardworking, young people of this country are focused, and you cannot use a few elements of young people to judge the entire spectrum of what young people are about. And two, I want to really appreciate Pastor Kanyari, and I said it before, that we as young people are on the digital space. We are on Facebook, we are on TikTok, we are everywhere. The only way we can be able to get mentorship is when our elders join us and come where we are. They cannot condemn us from the bush and from wherever they are. The CEO cannot condemn young people from his office at MCSK. Pastor Kanyari has the option to condemn young people from the pulpit and nobody will be listening to us. Because as young people we have real problems, we have real challenges that need real solutions. And that's why all these gentlemen here are self-employed today. Because they are doing something about their life. They have taken initiative to put bread on their table from their own perspective. So one, I appreciate Pastor Kanyari for joining the young people on TikTok. Because it's until you join us that then you can be able to listen to us. You can then be able to understand us. Now Pastor Kanyari can understand the perspective of young people. And I've been sharing with him and he's been telling me so many things that he has learned today that he didn't know. And now he has a better perspective. Now young people have someone they can go to. When they see that Dr. Ezekiel Mutua on TikTok, now they can inbox him about their problems. When they are able to see Pastor Kanyari there, they can now be able to tell him about their depression issues and all those kind of things. But if our elders run away from us, then we have no solution. So Pastor Kanyari, for me, it's an appreciation that first of all, you came there. You came to the marketplace, to where the young people are. Now from there, you can then start correcting them. Of course, with now the leadership of Daktari here and others, now we can be able to convert the following that you are having on social media. We can now convert that following into beneficial use. Because I'm a youth leader in Kenya, but I'm not as followed as you. You can even see your young people here. All they want to listen to is you and Daktari. So we are the youth leaders in the country. But we also appreciate the reality that our leaders and you people have what, sometimes you have something you can tell the young people that we do not even have. Because some of us, for us to make sense, we come and sit with you, then we disseminate. And there was a question about what government is doing. And I think there has never been a better government that has taken this social media space more seriously than the government that we have today. We have seen very serious action by the president to really support this space. I can be able to see SPM bars here. And your CEO today is on trip with the president and you're not even mentioning that. The CEO of SPM bars, Butita, is walking around with the president. That only shows you how serious the president has put the digital agenda in his government. So for me, all of us and those of us who are out there, of course we have a few elements, we have a few mistakes that we are making here and there, but we can only correct them when we come together. When Pastor Kanyari is able to now guide us more effectively, when Dr. Ezekiel Mutua is able to now come to these platforms and now be able to inspire young people. I have kept saying, as young people, we have the biggest problem we have is the mentorship problem. The mentorship problem and the opportunity problem. And so when our elders like these ones here, remember this government has
1,000,001 senior civil servants. Those who take initiative like Daktari to come and provide mentorship, we cannot take it for granted. This country has 1,000,001 pastors.
Yeah.
Those like Pastor Kanyari that take initiative to come to our space, we cannot take it for granted. And therefore we mold it from there and push it and see how we can be able to now converse the better way forward.
Thank you. I would like you to listen to a legal perspective. This is a mentee of mine. He has just been admitted to the bar. He's an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. We attended his admission to the bar with the government spokesman just the other day. And I would like him to give, he had given me something. I told him to say it himself.
Okay, mine is very brief. My name is John Mweke. This is amazing that young people are coming together and tapping into the new technologies. Truly, new technologies are here. The fourth industrial revolution is here. We have to keep abreast with it. So young people should adapt to it. And I understand that under Article 33 of the Constitution, we have we have allotted ourselves the freedom of expression, which includes freedom to artistic creativity. Therefore, young people should not be afraid of being creative and coming up with innovative ways to eke a living from it. Therefore, through this organization and the patronage of Dr. Ezekiel Mutua, we are going to be able to take into consideration the welfare of young people and TikTokers, so that we make sure that they are not verified, so that we make sure that no one defames you, and also no one takes you for frivolous suits in court because of allegations of defamation. We'll guide you through what defamation is and how you can create your content within the confines of the law. And also because we have the values, the national values under Article 10 of the Constitution, which includes the right to public participation. That means that there is a big community of TikTokers, therefore we can come together and present our grievances in beautiful ways like petitions and memoranda. So when we come together, we'll be able to channel our ideas together. We see what we need the government to do for us. We present it in petitions and memoranda. We draft them, and through Dr. Ezekiel, we'll be able to make the same, to present the same for legislation and guidance. Thank you very much.
So asante sana. We got to go. I have kept a lot of people.
But before that, maybe
We can finish.
you can talk to your fans. You can talk to your
Pastor Kanyari.
Is it live?
Yeah.
Talk to your
Okay,
fans.
now.
Now I'm being turned down. You know, we have told him to tone down, so he must also pass the same message to his huge following base, and we ensure that we walk the journey together. Toning down does not mean stifling creativity. We'll be creative in whichever ways, but we'll not promote people to kill each other or promote things that will hurt one another. And I think Pastor Kanyari, the platform, even as we go through the mentorship, and I'm so happy that he has admitted there are so many things he didn't know. You know, through the last 3 hours that we've been together, he has admitted that he joined as a joke, he got excited, he got carried away. And I tend to think the fact that we are here, the movement that we are going to start in this country for young people in the creativity and the role that we have given him, the request and the appeal that I've made to him, and nimemkulisha kiapo, amekula kiapo, ni kwamba ataleta hiyo popularity, creativity and his fan base into a platform where we can help and help one another. But maybe Pastor, you have something to add?
Okay, sawa. Kwa mafans wangu wote, jana nililia sana, lakini leo ninacheka. Ninacheka kwa sababu daktari hapa amenipatia nafasi ya kuwa president of TikTok. Wow. Now I'm a new president of TikTok. Kwa hivyo wale wako na mashida kuja kwa platform yangu, niambie ile mashida uko naye na tutasaidiana. Na pia yeye amekubali kuwa one of the TikTokers. Kwa hivyo hata yeye amejoin TikTok. Kwa hivyo hata yeye ni mmoja wetu.
And the chairman of the welfare committee.
Na chairman pia.
Mashida yote niletewe.
Tukitukanwa hata yeye anatukanwa na sisi. Kwa hivyo thank you so much for standing with me wakati wote. Na asante kwa sababu ya watu wengi wanaonifollow TikTok. Mimi sikuwa najua kama naweza
na wamfuate zaidi.
Na wanifuate zaidi.
Hata mimi umunifuate. Nimeingia tu saa hii.
Hata mimi unifuate.
Dr. Ezekiel Mutua. Nimeionyesha. Kuna mtu ako nayo, iko live. Umezima leta nionyeshe. Ndio hii
Sasa hivi wamefika watu wangapi?
Walikuwa wengi tu. Sasa hii nimeliona walikuwa naingia kama zige bwana. So tuko sawa. So what we are going to do is so this one. This TikTok. We're on TikTok. So this is unaona na walikuwa tu 1000 sasa wameingia karibu 2000.
Karibu almost 3000.
Almost 3000 na walikuwa 1000.
Sasa hii at Ezekiel Mutua 23. Yes. Sasa unaona. So twende namna hiyo. I think let's make this a friendly a family atmosphere. Vibes positive jameni. Mazee, tuweke positive vibes. Tusilete chuki, tusilete ikuwe ni positive vibes na tusaidiane. So we are here and we'll enjoy it together. It's a beautiful platform. Let us enjoy the experience of being on TikTok.
Kuna watu Dr. Ezekiel wanasema nyonga na mia.